Now, seaweeds can be found in very specific zones on your shoreline, and that can help you identify what you're really looking at. So if we think about a rocky shoreline, these are generally going to be on more exposed coastlines. You have very distinct zonation across tide heights. So you have a Pelvicia zone at the very top of the rocky shoreline, where you'll also find like periwinkles and limpets. You have sometimes like a barnacle zone that includes a lot of the rockweeds. And then you start getting to your low intertidal zones, where you start seeing more kelps, more reds and green algae, until you get to your very subtidal region, where you start to see domination by different kelps and such that like a lot of water motion. So these are very dynamic coastlines. They have very strict zones. While you're kind of sheltered coastlines, you might find, for instance, inside Kilkerran Bay, inside Killary Fjord, for instance, won't have such distinct zonation, and you'll have domination of one specific species until you get to the subtidal environment. So, for instance, if we were to go even to Coral Strand, just north of where we see Coral Strand, you'll see dominance of knotted egg-rack, Ascophyllum nodosum, in the intertidal, although you have a Pelvicia zone on the very top of the rocks. And then you'll see maybe some kelps, or maybe some more subtidal species like Bifurcaria bifurcata kind of take over. And then in the shallow subtidal, in these zones, these tend to be very sediment rich. So you might end up actually not seeing an algal dominated zone in the subtidal here, but something like your sapperlid worm reefs that Rory is going to talk about at the end of the month. So the environment dictates a lot of how we see these communities, right? So these are photosynthetic organisms. They require a lot of light, but they also require a lot of water. So there's a lot of interplay between all sorts of abiotic factors, and, wave energy is going to dictate how much light and heat and all that sort of stuff is reaching different regions. So if you know what your species likes, you're going to have a very easy time finding